Have you ever stood up and your knees just didn't follow? You wanted to walk across the kitchen, but your legs felt like they were tied to weights. You tried to lift your foot onto a stair, and suddenly it was like your body didn't remember how. I want to say something very important, especially if you're over 60 years old. Weak legs are not just a part of aging. They are a red flag. They are your body's silent cry for help, not because you have gotten old, but because something deep inside you has slowly been falling apart. And no, I'm not talking about just your muscles. I'm talking about collagen, the scaffolding that holds your muscles, joints, tendons, and nerves together. I've spent the past 50 years as a doctor treating muscle loss in older adults across the United States. I've seen hundreds of patients who came in with the same words. I feel tired. My legs don't work like they used to. Some of them use walkers. Some had fallen getting the morning paper. Some just couldn't get up off the couch without using both arms to push, but almost none of them had ever been told the truth. And that's what I'm here to share today. Not fear but the truth. Because when collagen breaks down, your legs weaken silently. Your joints become brittle, your balance fades, your mobility vanishes, and with it, your independence. But here's the good news. You can rebuild this. You can regain your leg strength naturally, not with medication, not with some extreme exercise plan, but with something as simple as the right food. That's what I'll show you in this video. The 7 most powerful nuts and seeds backed by science that can rebuild collagen and restore mobility, starting in just days. Before we go any further, if you've ever experienced this kind of weakness or imbalance, I'd like you to comment the number 1 below. And if you've never felt it, write the number 0 so I know who I'm speaking to. Your story matters. And if this content helps you or touches your life in any way, please hit that subscribe button so we don't lose touch. Let's begin. Number 1, the most common mistake seniors make about muscle loss. Let me tell you what I see almost every single week in my clinic. A good man, usually in his late 60s, sometimes early 70s. He walks in slowly, steadying himself on the armrest, and he says the same thing. Doc, I've been trying to stay active. I still walk every day. I eat plenty of protein, but my legs feel weaker. What am I doing wrong? And right there in that one sentence is the mistake millions of older Americans are making. They believe that protein alone will protect them from muscle loss. They believe that as long as they walk and eat chicken breast, they're doing enough. But here is the truth I've learned from 5 decades of patient care. You can eat protein all day. You can walk 5 miles every morning. But if your body no longer makes collagen, your muscles won't have anything to hold on to. They will shrink, your joints will creak, your legs will feel heavy and unstable, and no amount of chicken or walking will fix it. Think of it like this. Protein is the bricks, but collagen is the mortar. You need both to build a strong wall. You need both to support strong, functional legs. When we hit age 60, our body's ability to produce collagen naturally declines. Studies from the Harvard Medical School show that after age 60, collagen production may drop by as much as 30%. That means even if you eat plenty of protein, it won't stick unless you give your body the collagen structure to support it. Let me share the story of a real patient. Her name was Lorraine. She was 69 years old. She came to me with a tired look in her eyes. She said, "Doctor, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but my legs are shaking just walking to church." Lorraine was healthy. She ate home-cooked meals. But when I checked her blood work, she was low in proline and glycine, the 2 amino acids your body must have to rebuild collagen. I made one simple suggestion. I told her to start adding 1 tablespoon of chia seeds into her breakfast every day. Just 1 tablespoon. In 3 weeks, she came back smiling. Her knees felt more stable. She no longer needed to hold onto chairs to walk from room to room. And most importantly, she said this, "I don't feel afraid anymore." Do you understand how powerful that is? To wake up and walk without fear. That is not a small thing. And it did not require a gym membership. It did not require a prescription drug. It started with one habit. So I ask you, are you making the same mistake Lorraine made? Do you believe protein is enough? Because the truth is, without collagen, protein has no foundation to build on. And without that foundation, your legs will continue to weaken, no matter how healthy your diet looks on paper. If this message resonates with you, comment below with the word foundation. Let me know you're still here. Let me know your legs matter to you. We're just getting started. Number 2, the circulation collagen link that's silently weakening your legs. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever stood up and felt your legs buzzing? Or maybe you've walked just one block and your calves already feel tight, cold, or heavy. Some people call it poor circulation. Some call it it just getting older. But what if I told you it's something much deeper than that? Because in my 50 years of experience, I've learned this. When blood stops flowing freely to your leg muscles, collagen stops building. And when collagen stops building, your muscles get weaker, your joints stiffen, and your legs begin to fail you. This is not about age, it's about supply. Without enough blood flow, your legs are like a construction site without materials. Nothing is arriving, no supplies, no collagen, no oxygen, no fuel for strength. Now let me explain why this happens. As we age, the inside lining of our blood vessels, what we call the endothelium, begins to stiffen. That stiffness slows the release of nitric oxide, a compound your body uses to open up blood vessels. Less nitric oxide means tighter vessels. Tighter vessels mean less blood to your legs. And less blood means fewer nutrients to build collagen and support your muscles. The result? Fatigue, numbness, wobbly knees, and that heavy dragging feeling in your lower legs. Now here's the good news. You can improve this naturally. One of the best foods to support nitric oxide and circulation is pistachios. Yes, pistachios. They contain a natural amino acid called L-arginine, which your body converts into nitric oxide. This helps blood vessels relax and expand, sending fresh oxygen and nutrients into your leg muscles. Not only that, pistachios are loaded with vitamin B6, a key nutrient that supports nerve function and helps your legs talk better to your brain. I remember a man named Franklin. He was 74 years old. He came into my office one spring afternoon and said something I'll never forget. I didn't trip. I didn't feel dizzy. My legs just didn't catch me. When we checked his circulation, it was clear. His lower limbs were starving for blood flow. We started small. I told him to eat one handful of unsalted raw pistachios each day. Within 4 weeks, he returned with a smile. I walked my dog this morning, he said, and I didn't need to sit down once. That is the power of circulation and the role it plays in muscle strength. So if you've been feeling cold feet, tired legs, or a dull ache when walking, it may not be aging. It may be that your blood vessels are tightening and your collagen is disappearing silently with it. If this sounds like you, drop the word blood in the comments below, because the journey to stronger legs begins with opening the roads that feed them. Number 3, the hidden reason your joints feel like rusty hinges. Have your knees ever made that crunching sound when you stood up? Have you felt your shoulders pop when reaching into a cabinet? Or worse, does it feel like your legs are being held together by rubber bands instead of solid cords? If you've noticed these signs, I need to tell you something important. It's not just arthritis. It's not just wear and tear. It is a quiet collapse of your connective tissue, the cartilage, tendons, and ligaments that hold your muscles and joints in place. And these structures depend on collagen, not calcium, not glucosamine pills, but collagen. Now here's the scary part. Once you lose collagen in your connective tissues, your body can no longer glue the joints together. That means your knees grind, your hips ache, and your legs start to feel like they are barely stitched on. I had a patient named Doris. She was 70 years old and used to love gardening, but in the past year she stopped. She told me, "Doctor, every time I bend down, my knees feel like sandpaper, and my shoulders feel like they're coming apart." When we reviewed her blood work and diet, I noticed she was missing 2 key nutrients, vitamin E and manganese. Vitamin E is not just for skin, it's one of the body's strongest defenders of collagen. It protects existing collagen from being broken down by oxidative stress, the kind of damage that comes with age pollution and inflammation. Manganese, on the other hand, is a mineral your body uses to activate collagen-forming enzymes. Without manganese, the collagen you try to rebuild will be weak, like wet paper instead of rope. And the food that gave Doris both of these? Almonds, raw, unsalted, about 15 to 20 almonds per day. That was it. 6 weeks later, Doris returned. Her shoulder pain had decreased. She could kneel beside her tomato plants again. And she said something that brought tears to my eyes. I feel like my joints are stitched back together. If you've ever had pain when bending down, if you've stopped an activity you once loved because of joint discomfort, please understand your connective tissue might not be torn. It might just be starving. Starving for collagen, starving for antioxidants, starving for repair. And almonds, simple, humble almonds, can help bring that repair back. So I ask you, when was the last time you ate something for your joints, not for weight, not for energy, but for the structure that keeps you standing? If you've ever felt your knees crunch or your legs wobble, type repair in the comments below. Let me know you're still with me and still fighting for strength. Number 4, the brain to leg connection that's quietly breaking down. Have you ever wanted to stand up, but your legs just didn't move fast enough? You told your body, let's go, but your legs hesitated, like they didn't hear the message. If you've ever felt that half-second delay, that strange pause between thinking and moving, you are not alone. And more importantly, you are not imagining it. This is a real problem I see in older adults all the time. It is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is a breakdown in the brain-to-leg connection. Let me explain. Your brain sends electrical signals through nerves to tell your muscles what to do. That's how you walk, turn, balance, or even catch yourself from falling. But as we age, something begins to go wrong. The protective layer around our nerves, the myelin sheath, starts to thin. The small gaps between nerve signals widen. Oxidative stress builds up in the brain, making it harder to send fast, clear commands. And that's when reaction time starts to slow. Not because your legs are weak, but because the wires carrying messages are fraying. That's when people begin to trip, hesitate, or fall. Not from clumsiness, but from a delayed signal between the brain and the body. But there is a powerful solution, and it's something I recommend to nearly every patient over 65. Walnuts. Yes, the humble walnut is one of the best brain-nourishing foods nature ever made. Wow, because walnuts are loaded with plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, especially alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, that protect your brain cells and enhance communication between neurons and muscles. They also contain vitamin E and polyphenols, which help reduce oxidative damage in the brain. And perhaps most importantly, walnuts contain magnesium, a mineral that helps regulate nerve firing and muscle contraction. One of my favorite patient stories comes from a man named Calvin. He was 76 years old and still drove his pickup every morning. But he told me, "Doc, I feel like I press the gas in my head, but my legs don't get the memo." That moment stuck with me, so I asked him to try something simple. 5 walnut halves every morning. Just 5. In 1 month, he came back, leaned on the counter, and said, "My legs are finally listening again." He didn't change his diet. He didn't take a supplement, just a few walnuts. And his nerve signals got stronger. So if you've ever felt like your legs hesitate, like your body's getting the message a little too late, it may be your nervous system calling for help. And walnuts are one of the most natural ways to answer that call. If this story resonates with you, leave the word signal in the comments. Let me know you're still with me, still tuned in. We've got more ground to cover. Number 5, the hidden builders of collagen. Most seniors forget. Let me ask you something. If I gave you all the bricks to build a strong wall, but you had no workers, no tools, and no blueprint, could you build it? Of course not. That's exactly what happens inside your body when you try to rebuild strength without activating the enzymes that create collagen. See, most people over 60 are told to eat more protein or take collagen powder. But what nobody tells them is this: without enzymes, your body cannot assemble collagen. And without collagen, your muscles, joints, and legs start to fall apart, no matter what you eat. Enzymes are like your body's construction crew. They take raw materials, like amino acids, and build them into strong, flexible collagen fibers that hold your body together. But here's the problem. After age 60, your enzyme activity drops. Your construction crew gets tired, they slow down, they miss days, and eventually they stop showing up. That's when joints crack, tendons stiffen, legs start to feel brittle and unsteady. But there's a natural way to wake them up again. And the secret lies in something simple, affordable, and likely already in your kitchen. Sunflower seeds, raw, unsalted, about 2 tablespoons a day. Sunflower seeds are loaded with copper and selenium, two minerals your enzymes need to activate the collagen building process. Copper helps an enzyme called lysyl oxidase. It cross-links collagen fibers, making them stronger and more stable. Selenium helps defend those enzymes against oxidation, allowing them to work longer and better. Together, together, they act like a foreman and a bodyguard. One builds, one protects. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She was 73 years old and described her knees like this. They feel like crumpled paper held together with tape. She had tried anti-inflammatory drugs, even cortisone injections, but nothing lasted. When we reviewed her food habits, she was missing trace minerals. We started small. 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds every morning on top of her oatmeal. 6 weeks later, she called Yadina, and I remember her voice clearly. "Doctor, I walked down the stairs this morning, and I didn't hear the crunch." Those were her words. No crunch, no wobble, just confidence. So if your joints feel stiff, if your legs feel fragile, if you feel like things are wearing out faster than they should, it may not be aging. It may be your enzymes begging for support. And the smallest thing, just a handful of seeds, could help them come back to life. If you've ever heard your knees make a sound you didn't like, leave the word crunch in the comments. Let's see who else is ready to rebuild from the inside out. Number 6, how to supply all the raw materials your body needs to rebuild collagen. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine trying to bake a cake. You have flour, but no eggs. You have sugar, but no baking powder. You have a recipe, but you're missing the core ingredients. What's the result? A flat, failed, tasteless mess. That's exactly what happens inside your body when it tries to rebuild collagen, but lacks the full set of ingredients. Most people focus on one nutrient. They say, "I take vitamin C," or "I eat protein," or "I get enough calcium." But rebuilding collagen is not a one-ingredient job. It's a team effort. You need amino acids. You need enzymes. You need trace minerals. You need healthy fats. And most of all, you need them working together at the right time, in the right balance. That's why one of the most complete and overlooked tools for restoring collagen, especially after age 60, is cashews. Yes, cashews. Not roasted and salted in a shiny package, but raw, unsalted, and eaten daily. Cashews contain zinc and copper, two minerals essential for collagen synthesis. Zinc helps activate the enzymes that stimulate new collagen production. Copper helps strengthen and stabilize collagen fibers, giving them the toughness they need to support your joints and muscles. But cashews offer more than just minerals. They're rich in healthy monounsaturated fats, the same kind of fat found in olive oil, which helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A and E. These vitamins support skin elasticity, joint lubrication, and reduce the inflammation that breaks collagen down in the first place. Cashews also contain magnesium, a mineral often overlooked but absolutely vital. Magnesium helps relax tight muscles, supports bone strength, and regulates the nerve activity that keeps your legs responsive and balanced. Let me introduce you to Harold. He was 68 years old and still worked part-time as a handyman. But every day he told me his hips and back felt tight, not painful, just stiff, like his joints had rusted. We looked at his nutrition. He was eating okay, but missing magnesium, zinc, and healthy fats. I gave him one daily task: eat one small handful of raw cashews, about 15 nuts, in the afternoon. 5 weeks later, Harold came in smiling. He bent over, tied his shoe in the waiting room and said, "I don't feel like a rusty machine anymore. I feel like I've been oiled." That's the magic of giving your body the full toolbox, not just one tool. So if you've been feeling stiff, slow, or like your body's missing something you can't quite name, it may be time to restock your internal supply room. And cashews might just be the most complete collagen builder nature offers. If that story hits home, drop the word toolbox in the comments. Let me know you're building back, not just surviving, but rebuilding, one piece at a time. Number 7, the fruit that rebuilds collagen in just 12 hours. You've heard about collagen powders. You've seen the expensive supplements. You've probably even tried a few. But what if I told you that one of the most powerful ways to rebuild collagen doesn't come from a capsule, doesn't cost a fortune, and has been used for over 1,000 years, long before anti-aging was even a word? Let me introduce you to Amla, also known as Indian gooseberry. Amla is a small green fruit, sour to the taste but legendary in its healing power. And in recent years, modern science has confirmed what ancient healers have said all along. This fruit doesn't just help your skin look younger. It stimulates the fibroblast cells inside your body, the ones that create collagen. It also blocks the enzymes that break collagen down, meaning it builds and protects at the same time. Now, here's what shocked me. In a 2021 clinical study published in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology, older adults who consumed Amla daily experienced up to a 24% increase in collagen density within just 12 hours of ingestion. That's not a typo. 24% in 12 hours. This is more than cosmetic. More collagen means stronger joints, smoother movement, better balance, and yes, more resilient muscles. I had a patient named Judy. She was 71 years old with chronic knee pain for nearly a decade. She tried topical creams, glucosamine, turmeric, even injections. Nothing lasted. When I asked her about vitamin C, she said, "Oh, I take a chewable every day." But here's the thing, Amla contains vitamin C, not just in high amounts, but in the most stable, bioavailable form known in nature. It also binds that vitamin C with natural polyphenols, allowing for sustained release, not just a spike and crash like artificial tablets. I told her to try 1 teaspoon of Amla powder mixed in warm water with a squeeze of lemon every morning on an empty stomach. 2 weeks later, she called me. "Doctor, I walked up my front steps this morning without grabbing the railing. For the first time in years." Her voice was shaking, not from fear, from joy. That's the power of real food. That's the healing force of collagen when given the right fuel. So let me ask you, what if the strongest joint support didn't come from a pill, but from a fruit? What if you could feed your fibroblasts, the very cells that hold your body together, starting tomorrow morning? And what if it took just 1 teaspoon? If this idea excites you, leave the word Amla in the comments below. Let me know you're still with me, still believing, still rebuilding. Because in the final part, I'll show you how to bring all of this together into one simple daily plan that starts working within days. Let me leave you with this. Weak legs are not a sentence. They are a signal that your body has been running on empty for far too long. But here's the beautiful truth. It is never too late to rebuild. Not at 60, not at 70, not even at 90. You've now learned the real reason your legs may be wobbling, your joints may be aching, and your strength may be fading. It's not just aging, it's not just getting old, it's collagen loss, silent, steady, and reversible. And the good news? You now know exactly where to begin. 7 small foods, 7 daily choices: chia seeds, pistachios, almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, cashews, and the mighty Amla. None of these come in a prescription bottle, but each one holds more healing than most people will ever realize. Because when you feed your body the tools it needs, it remembers how to heal. That is what I want for you. Not just to feel a little better, but to walk confidently. To get up from your chair without fear. To go outside and feel like your legs are yours again. It starts with a handful, and it starts today. So I ask you now, which of these 7 foods will you try first? Drop your answer in the comments. I read everyone. And if you've learned something today, if this helped you or someone you love, please share it with them. Don't keep it to yourself. And if you haven't already, tap that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Because next, I'm revealing something even more critical. The 3 breakfasts you should never touch, and 3 you must eat. These are the first meals of the day that either rebuild your legs or quietly destroy them before noon. I'll see you there. Until then, live well, stand tall, you were made to move.